So let's get into this video.
Yeah, man.
And let's cut this down real quick.
Cut this down. We're gonna play parts of it. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna play parts.
Just to listen what they got going on.
Right.
And yeah, let's get to it. My bad. Let me turn it.
Let me cut this up.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to cut the beat off. My bad.
My bad. Yep. My bad.
Yeah, Gilbert. I don't know. Gilbert be saying things just randomly, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
The worst MVP winner of the last 40 years.
The last 40 years is crazy.
I ain't gonna lie. We might have to look up the last 40.
Last 40 MVPs.
I'm gonna look that up real quick while they talk.
If you're talking about recent memory, then yeah, we're gonna get to it.
MVPs, your performance plus where your record ranked. So where your team record ranked, right?
Okay.
His first MVP, his team record was 5th in the NBA.
They were 5th in the NBA, 3rd in the West, 47-25.
Okay.
And then his second one, his team was 10th.
Well, he won
in the NBA. Now, only time that happened was 88 Jordan. His team was 7th. And obviously we know what happened in 88. Defensive Player of the Year, scoring, title, steals, champ, dunk, champ, and I think All-Star MVP. So it was a historic year, right, we could say.
Don't. I'm just going to say off the fly, don't compare Nikola Jokic to Michael Jordan.
Why are we doing that?
Don't do that.
Why are we doing that?
If you expect, even though if it's 88 Jordan, don't compare the 88 Jordan to the 2022 Nikola Jokic, or 2022. If you were to say the 8th seeded, or what he said, 7th seed, the 7th seed Michael Jordan is deserving of the MVP that year. I get it, yeah.
For sure. All right.
But then again, he was a 7th seed.
7th, right? So from 1983, Moses Malone, Larry Bird won the next 3 till 1987, which was Magic Johnson.
Yeah, okay.
You have Michael Jordan, 1988, 1989, Magic Johnson, 1990, Magic Johnson, 1991, Michael, 92, Michael, 93, Charles, 94, Hakeem, 95, David, 96, Mike, 97, Malone. Okay, so if we making arguments about Jokic, is Jokic not doing the same thing Malone doing? Carl played power forward center, right?
Yeah.
Maybe even better.
Yeah.
I know it's two different eras though. But if Gilbert is comparing or saying he doesn't, does Karl Malone not deserve it then? That's my question.
Right.
And then from in on out, you got Tim Duncan.
Yeah. Okay.
Shaq.
Yeah.
David Robinson.
Yeah.
Of course, you got LeBron, Curry, Kevin, now Giannis and Jokic and Embiid. Right.
Okay. Let's be clear. If you want to talk about the worst MVP, Steve Nash.
05 and 06.
Steve Nash. That's the obvious go-to.
Even if he didn't deserve it, he was still runner-up.
He was still runner-up.
So what are we saying about Jokic?
And speaking of, I think he was the 10th seed when he won the championship.
Is we going off? So I'm pretty okay. So Gilbert kind of going off where his team is placed and how good his team was and his contribution.
Right.
Okay.
But you still can't say that because they still won the championship, even with being the 10th seed.
Yeah.
So and they was in the play-in too.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. No.
So what?
And if we can be honest, Denver, even. Did Melo take them to the playoffs?
Yes.
I think he did, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But after Melo.
Who took him to the playoffs like that?
Kind of poverty franchise, wasn't it?
Yeah. Until Jokic came
Murray,
in there.
right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying Jokic doesn't have help. He does have MPJ. He has good pieces around him.
But
we're not going to act like he had another star.
And they always was hurt.
They was always hurt. They was always inconsistent, like healthy, bro. It was hard to stay healthy over there.
Right.
So let's listen a little more on my bad.
And then the next person to have a record like that would have been Westbrook when his team was 10th and he had a triple-double since the 70s. Which
first time since Oscar Robertson.
But neither here nor there. Now,
the notebook is out.
Now, since there's
the
only
notebook is out.
No, not just the notebook. He bought the big book out.
The big book.
He got the big book out.
You know what I mean?
He got multiple stats on this bitch.
What was that dude, Mike? What's his name?
We got to do.
So there's a gentleman, ESPN personality, Mike Greenberg, said this is the worst take of all time. And this is the same Mike Greenberg that said UConn can make the NBA playoffs this season.
Okay. So I guess he didn't.
Oh, God, yeah.
I don't. College team that probably got one or two actual NBA players on it can be the actual NBA team.
Could make the NBA playoffs.
Okay,
that's
so
a crazy take.
MJ, MVPs. There's 4 MVPs and his team record. 7th, 2nd, 1-1. Magic's team, 1st, 2nd, 1st. Bird, 1st.
Okay.
LeBron, 1st, 4th, 1st.
Okay.
Curry, 1st. Nash, 1st, 4th. Carmelo, 2nd, 1st. Duncan, 2nd, 1st. Jokic, 5th and 10th.
Okay. I mean, that's valid.
Okay.
That's valid.
That's a valid reason, but didn't they win last year?
Yeah.
Didn't they win? And they run it again. They can win it again this year.
That's valid.
If they win it again this year, your take probably won't add up.
Your take is irrelevant.
I can see what he's trying to hit at. I can see what he's hitting at. He's saying, you MVP, but your team is not 1 or 2.
But then
if you MVP, your team should be 1 or 2.
But then you said he has a super team around him. Why would he? If he had a super team around him?
Okay, Karl Malone probably had a good squad around him. Right?
John Stockton,
Jordan had great squad around him every time.
Rodman, Grant,
Curry, great squad around him every time.
Durant.
Curry didn't just carry that team.
Durant,
Clay,
Green.
That's why I can't fully agree with this. And Gilbert, you have way more sports intake than we do, but even from just our perspective, this is just you got to come at it. You got
to come at a different take because we get what you're saying. That he has the worst seedings, but then would that make him more accomplished? Then if they had the worst seedings,
right.
That doesn't make sense. But
plus, they always been in rebuild phase, and they finally got to win the championship last year. So, I mean, it's not just it wasn't instant. It wasn't always a power team till about a couple years ago.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Till he started winning MVP. So I think that's where you got to look at it from.
Right.
5th and 10th. Now, here's the problem. The problem is not me. The problem is these motherfuckers right here. Right. The winner of Jokic's first one should have been Greek the Freak. But they didn't want to give Greek his 3rd straight MVP, so they fucked up.
That's fair.
So this is not me. They fucked up because they didn't want to give Greek his 3rd one, so they gave it to Jokic. That's y'all problem, not mine.
Okay. So if we're saying that, as you said, you can go back to the Steve Nash thing. It is what it is.
Right.
It doesn't happen, so you can't say he didn't. Even if he didn't earn it right there, he shouldn't have got it.
Right.
He runner up, so if Giannis was hurt, then you feel me? Then he would have got it regardless. So It's like, I still don't really like that argument. Like, I get it, but it's like, Giannis going to get him another one soon. Like, probably.
He's going to get him another one in the next couple of years.
Of course, they had to switch it up. You can't give him Embiid 3 in a row. That gets boring. But if we think about it, the past couple of years has been nothing but centers.
Yeah,
Power forwards and centers.
It has been, yes.
So what's the argument there? People can get tired of that. We ain't seen no point guard be in a while. So
right. Maybe the last one was like
Curry. What's the last point guard that won it?
Either Westbrook or Curry.
Yeah, it might have been Westbrook. Shoot. Let me see. I got the list right here. I see what he's saying, but still, it's like you making that. Let me see. The last one was Harden, 2018.
Oh yeah, it was Harden. Yes,
that big back.
It's crazy.
But like I see. Okay, you see what he's saying, but it's like it's still not valid.
It's still not
to say
valid.
He's not worthy of it.
No.
I just think it's amazing what Jokic is doing at his height. Cool,
right?
But the fact that this man treats basketball as if he don't really care. He really don't care. It's just the second thing he's good at. This man like his horses back home, bro.
Right.
Like I think that's more impressive. Imagine if Jokic, of course, care about basketball. Imagine if Jokic really this was all he really wanted. It. Come on now.
Right.
This
dude is like Shaq without basically. I'm not saying he plays like Shaq. I'm not saying he's dominant as Shaq. Don't get that twisted. But he's one of those cats that if he really took it serious, he could be elite.
Here we go. I don't know if they gonna like this. I don't know if nobody. Jokic is more skilled than Giannis.
Obviously.
So what's the argument here? Because now we can't make that same argument of Giannis should have won it. Compared with that Steve Nash one, right?
Right.
Because they both skilled, so you can't make that argument with Kobe and Steve, right?
Right.
Jokić is definitely more skilled than Giannis.
He's more skilled than. I'm not gonna say Embiid. That would be too far. That would be too far.
Embiid very skillful for that position.
But I'm gonna say it like this: he's more skilled than Giannis in ways that Giannis wish he would be.
Yes.
Giannis has gotten better with short threes.
For sure. No, for sure.
I will say this:
but
Giannis
if we paying attention to Jokic's footwork. I don't know. His footwork is tough.
Giannis plays
beat up there.
Giannis plays better defense than Jokić. That's no question. But if we talking about putting money on the line for someone to make a shot,
basketball. Now we talking about basketball, like IQ too. Jokić passing is up there with guards.
It's up there. Yeah, it's up there with guards. We
forgetting that.
Yeah.
We forgetting that. Oh my gosh. See, that's why I can't really agree fully with Gilbert's take right here. I can't.
I don't know.
I'm gonna keep listening.
I don't know. We're gonna listen. We're gonna keep listening. We're
gonna going on a tangent.
We're gonna try.
I'm not even a Jokić fan, but I just don't like weird narratives like this. I just don't.
Right. We're gonna
try.
Same
thing with the Vince Carter thing.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try to understand this. Like we said, we don't agree with some things, but there might be some things we agree with. So don't get us hard on.
Like the placement of the scene is okay. I see that. I can agree. I can agree.
Yes.
But besides that, let me hear.
Right. And then his second one was he almost had a triple-double. Not actually having a triple-double, almost having one of those motherfuckers. They gave it to, they used that. The big man having 10 assists while a dude actually had a triple-double that year. Westbrook had a triple.
Now, I can't agree. A guard is going to get assists during the game a lot. They should. A guard has to facilitate, right? Gilbert even knows this, right?
Gilbert, you played the position.
A center is not getting as much assists as people think, bro. I think it's impressive. If he almost got to, that's so impressive for a center. I'm sorry. But
Gilbert, you played the position. You know what it's like to score, and you know what it's like to get assists. When in your era was a big man passing the ball?
Averaging 10 assists. And
if there was a guy, was he averaging 20-plus points in the season, same season? Was he averaging 10 rebounds or 11 rebounds a game? He might have done that. But you can't tell me that there's a passing big man that in your era that has literally averaged Jokić numbers and say, well, someone else deserves it because he had a triple-double.
Russ still got his flowers. So why are we still making this comparison? Because he almost? He's a big.
And it's like, it's noticeable. He's comparing guards to centers.
Oh, my God.
You can't be comparing guards to centers.
Let me see Embiid's stats on his MVP season and Giannis's. Let me see.
I would say this. Right, I would say if you were saying Embiid.
Here we go. Embiid, he had 4.2 assists per game. Jokić had 7.9 and then 8.3 in both of the years he won. Giannis had 5 assists in both of the years he won. Here we go. That's all you need to see.
If you can't tell me that he's the best passing center of this era. I'm not gonna say of all time because there's some good passing centers in this league. But in your era, if he was literally playing in your era and he did all this, he with 6 MVPs, 6-7 MVPs.
Because that's not we don't see centers like him averaging over 4 assists.
Yeah.
He averaged darn near 10.
Averaged almost 10.
With boards, 10 boards, and then 20 plus points.
And he's doing it on a consistent basis, and he's never really injury prone.
Like, I don't understand. This man just don't like Jokić. He just gotta not like Jokić.
You can't. You must.
Because now all the points you making is outweighing because the evidence is not proven. Like
it's not.
And your comparison, the comparison is not making sense. Though.
Double that year when Jokić won his second one. So the fact that he almost won when they dumbed it down to give him that award, he's the only multiple winner that didn't even have fucking 50 wins when he won his MVP.
Championship.
Russ still don't got one. And Russ my favorite player.
Now, y'all fucking rank it. And rank it with the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players. Last. Can't beat the fact. It's last place.
Pause
all right? Multiple.
Pause it. Look at the list again. You said the last 8 players? Last 8 players? All right, let me see.
Here you go.
Let me see. Last 8? All right, so.
If it's 8 teams, you know.
Okay, cool. So, no championship. Joel Embiid, no championship. Giannis, championship. Harden, no championship. Russell Westbrook, no championship. KD and Steph, championships. LeBron, championships. Derrick Rose, no championship.
Last 8. If we going off of what you're talking about, Gilbert, if we going off seedings and winning,
right,
and contributing,
right,
Jokic is probably top 5.
Jokic is probably top 5. Embiid got that ring. He got a MVP from, and respectfully from just blasting the media.
Now I'm not gonna say Jokic MVP is the most impressive. No, I'm not gonna say that.
No,
but is earned for sure. He's not the worst MVP in the last 4 years, bro.
Like I said, bro.
What?
The last 3 years, talking about going from 2015, Steph Curry has won championships. Russell Westbrook doesn't have a championship. Harden doesn't have a championship.
And Russ my favorite player, bro, as I said. But if we going off worse, he can't be worse.
Look,
because he has got him a championship, and he is a big man who is big. Not built strong enough.
Right.
Big burly.
Right.
Cooking these
man. What, bro? Anyway, let me tell you the last.
You think it's because he's foreign? Ooh,
bro. If he got something against foreign players, then that's understandable.
Nah, Embiid not Antetokounmpo foreign, but still.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
they call him racist, but I don't think he.
Maybe white foreigners.
White foreigners, maybe.
Let me say it like this. We're gonna say this, and we're gonna keep it team.
Yeah.
Embiid, Harden, Russ, Iverson. If you want to go back from the 2000s, just from the 2000s. So, Shaquille O'Neal, championship. Allen Iverson, no championship. Tim Duncan, twice championships, clearly. Kevin Garnett, championship. Steve Nash, I believe, championship. I believe he has a championship.
Let me see. Tim Duncan, averaged 23, 12. Tim Duncan averaged 24, 12.9 boards, 3.9 assists.
Right.
As I said, I'm not comparing, but if you're trying to compare because of triple-double wise, a big man doesn't average over freaking 5 assists.
And Tim Duncan,
4 at most.
And Tim Duncan is the best power forward of all time.
Hall of Famer right there. So
best power forward of all time in people's eyes, certain people's eyes.
I think it's more impressive that Jokic is getting every player involved.
Yeah.
Assist wise. Like,
right.
What?
All right, Gil.
Come on. Point center.
Come on, Gil.
The winner. Only winner with multiple that didn't have 50 fucking wins when he won an MVP. Multiple winner.
Okay. If you're talking about all of the Jokic didn't win it. He didn't win MVP when they won the championship, did he?
I don't think he did.
Okay. If he going off that, I kind of still see an argument. But still, it's the phase of he has won one.
Yeah, he's won one.
And he still performed great that season. He probably could have got that MVP again if he wanted to.
Right.
But they probably gave it to somebody else.
I'm going to say it like...
They gave it to Embiid.
I'm going to say... Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say it like this. They gave... Yes, because he won it last year because that's when Embiid literally shouldn't have won it that year.
Yep.
And he won the championship the next year. So would you say the same analogy if Embiid had not won that MVP and they gave it to Jokic, and you would say, well, he's the worst player. He's the worst multiple MVP in the last 40 years. You got to be out your mind. You got to be out your mind. He really should have won the MVP last year.
We going off 50. Embiid ain't won nothing yet.
Embiid ain't won.
So can we say he the worst? I mean, I understand he most skilled for sure.
Right.
But like,
can we say
ain't won nothing yet?
He still hasn't? Just clear as day.
The worst team record.
All right, Gilbert.
Now, we can say whatever we want, but when Kobe team was 10th, they didn't give it to him. Just like they didn't give it to every other player who had a great season, but he didn't have great team success. Y'all are trying to use the same metrics on Wemby. We can't give him a defensive player of the year because his team is not winning. Like, Y'all are fucking.
Wemby, defensive player of the year, not now, but he's definitely defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah. So doesn't MVP mean most valuable player, even if your team is? You feel me? I'm sorry, I had to cut off.
No, you good. You good.
Even if your team is that bad, the award is most valuable player, not NBA Finals MVP.
Right. I think he won that too. Did he?
Didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah,
Did he? Wait, oh my God.
So if you want to talk about Finals MVP, Jokić has that. He does. That does not MVP to me doesn't overvalue a Finals MVP.
And
to me,
I saw what he said about Kobe. Kobe had a great season, but they finished 10th, right?
Right.
That's just because that's how they did things back then. They didn't give it to, you feel me? Now they kind of switched it up and even if your team didn't crack 50 wins, but you was really the most valuable player in the league, you're getting it probably.
Yeah. If you, like I said, if anyone, even Giannis, if Embiid, if any of these cats that is doing the things they doing now, Russell Westbrook could win 10 MVPs just based off that. Not 10, not exaggerating, right. but he could win at least 3 MVPs if he played in the modern, and if he played in the literal modern era of the early 2000s.
For sure,
he would have won 10 MVP, at least 3
for sure.
And he would have been a 12, 13, 14 time All-Star. He is in that range.
Hey.
So
Gilbert, you gotta understand times are changing, so you really can't make this take like that. You can't say he's the worst MVP in the last 40 years. That's a horrible take in this generation. I'm sorry.
It is.
That won't work.
You can't compare your timeline to someone else's timeline.
It's bad because guess what? Of this generation, I'm not even a LeBron fan, but guess what? He's the GOAT of this era for sure.
He is.
For sure. When Kobe was alive, he was the GOAT of his era right there. And LeBron was on the come up.
Right.
And then then before that was Mike. Then before that was Magic or whoever.
The D Rose era. I call it the D Rose era. The D Rose era when D Rose won the MVP in 2011.
Yeah.
How old was he?
Young.
He was young.
20. I don't know. Was this how many years he been in the league? How many years was he in the league when he won? About 2 or 3?
I think he won his second year. His second, third year.
I'm gonna say 22. Maybe 21, 22.
So he won in 3 years. You mean to tell me Jokić couldn't win that if he? No, I'm not saying in his first couple of years, he had to develop to the player he was.
Yeah, Jokić developed, and I think that's even more impressive how he developed. Around
a team. The Nuggets, I mean, your best players in your history, Sharif Abdul-Rahim.
Yep.
Who else from Denver? We're not basketball heads. Like, we don't know everything about basketball. We don't make it seem like that. But you literally became the best player in Nuggets history. Carmelo Anthony, my bad. Yeah, Carmelo Anthony. You became the best player in that history. And yet, he still gets slandered because
I don't even want to watch the rest of this, but
we got to.
Yeah, you're right. I gotta hear his other takes. He probably got some good evidence,
but you got to make sense out of the certain things you say. That's just clear. Let's get to it.
It up. Not me. When Jordan should have had about 7 of them motherfuckers. LeBron should have had a bunch. Shaq should have had a bunch. Kobe should have had a bunch. It's y'all fault. A bunch of nerds like Green. What's his name?
Mike Greenberg.
Mike Green.
Mike Green.
Mike, because the people like Mike Green are voting, and you guys are changing the narrative on how you guys want. That's y'all fault. I'm just here just to point out your flaw. Right? That first one should have went to Greek. The second one, from your metrics, should have went to Tatum or.
Why are you thinking on what you're trying to say?
Tatum or hold up.
Embiid
did not.
Tatum did have a good year that year.
He did. But you're still thinking on what you're trying to say to prove a point.
As I said, if you're still going by what you're going by, neither one won the championship.
Last year should have went to Jokić This year, by the metrics, should go to Jokić. So no matter what, Jokić will have 2.
So then
Okay. If he's saying last year should have went to Jokić, this year definitely going to Jokić.
So what that
is this still? If he get it, is this still the same narrative of he being the worst, or are we just saying because he wanted the time that he wanted, is you saying that's why he the worst?
Damn.
It don't matter either way. Okay, I get the time periods that he wanted it. Maybe somebody else should have wanted it. But if you saying he earned it last year and he's earned it this year, why are you still making this take? That means he still believe it.
Gilbert, you got to do better, bro.
Gilbert, I respect you, bro.
We love you. Like we love you. But you got to get it together, bro.
I don't know.
You got to get it together, pal.
I just don't know. I don't.
My.
That's
That is bizarre.
All right,
let's get to it.
Correct your system, then you won't have people like me. And you're not going to be able to beat me with facts because I already fact-checked it before I fucking said it, like I usually do everything. Mm-hmm. No, carry on.
That's it?
Thoughts from anybody on the couch? We got some former Nuggets sitting on this couch.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So, yeah, I ain't got shit to say about it. The man looked it up. The man did his homework. The fuck, fuck we gonna sell?
Like stats.
No, Gil, you fucking wrong, nigga. Your stats don't.
That's your boy.
That's all they saying.
That's your boy, though.
I don't care if they play for them or not. Realistically, though.
Oh, my God.
Okay, cool. He has the facts. We even looked up facts, too. I think he's downplaying the assist numbers so bad. Like, okay, cool. Tatum should have won. Embiid should have. Okay. But you started off the argument with the seedings of the team.
And then you backtrack
then
and
you went
say
to championships, like.
But then you backtrack and say he should have won it this year or last year, and he should have won it this year.
As I said, if he didn't win it at the times he did, and he won it last year, and of course he's winning it this year, would you still have? I think he still would have the same.
He still would.
And I don't know what the argument would be.
But then again, if he won it last year, he won a championship. So then that will prove to be that you would have been a hater. You can't say that he's the worst MVP. You cannot say that he is not the best. I mean, he has not done his best at all. He's won a championship with Denver, who never won a championship in his career, in their lifetime.
Crazy. We're not just saying it was all him.
It's not.
He was if they didn't have him, they wouldn't have won it.
No. It's just like Tim Duncan. It's just like with San Antonio. They need Kawhi Leonard when he was with them. They needed a Manu. They needed a Steven Jackson. They needed a Tim Duncan. They needed all those cats. They needed Tony Parker. I didn't forget about him. They needed those cats in order for them to be successful. Right. You cannot say that they aren't essential pieces. Right. He's the essential piece of the Denver Nuggets organization. He's literally the man of the team. Even though I'm going to say it like this, even though he don't care, he can average 34 a night. If he wanted to.
I think that's the thing people don't understand. This man don't care as much. I'm not saying he don't care, but he, as much as some of these other cats do, this man doing it like it's a second.
Man,
it's just for fun.
Man come up in business suits. Other cats walk around in fedora hats and stuff.
It's just for fun. Now look, hey man, we ain't gonna stay on that topic too long, but we know where we stand on that. Gilbert, I get you have the facts, but the points you were making, they just didn't add up to what you were trying to say.
They didn't.
If you went a different route, okay, cool. But what you was going, nah. But make sure y'all subscribe to Gil's Arena. Good podcast, great podcast. Yeah. No hate.
Yeah, no hate.
People have disagreements all the time.
And you're also, like, just last thing, you comparing him to NBA legends. You're comparing him to NBA legends. That's all I'm gonna say.
Legends.
And he's gonna be a legend himself.
Yeah.
So You can't compare. You can't compare. In general, before we get into this next thing, I think we need a break though.
We finna take a break before we get into the Jordan Spring game.
Stop comparing generations.
Oh, you're gonna make some good shorts on this, by the way. My bad.
Stop comparing generations. Just because you played in the modern era where they had Kobe, Shaq, Tim Duncan, they had Hakeem Olajuwon, like, stop comparing those players to an Embiid, to a Giannis, to a Jokic, to a doggone Wemby. Actually, Wemby is in that consideration just because he's proven that he is the number 1 pick.
Right. For sure.
Stop comparing generations. When the next generation happens, when it's 2030, there's gonna be some cats. Cooper Flag might be outrageous.
Could.
You know what I'm saying? Whoever else is coming out of this, like, the next years, we don't know. We ain't time tellers. But we are aware that there are going to be players that's going to win the MVP, that's going to be goons, that's going to be Hall of Famers.
I just think that was just a very weird take.
It was.
As I said, if he would have came at it different, because he had the facts, if he came at it a little different,
yeah.
But you went back on your word, so now it didn't make no sense.
You went back on your word. He should have won the MVP last year when he won the championship.
Yeah.
And he should have won it this year when he could win the championship again.
Right.
That doesn't make no sense at all.
You gotta put a beat. I got you.
But my goodness gracious, I got a headache because I know Gilbert knows better than that. Gilbert knows better than that, bro. You gotta know better. My gosh, bro, that's crazy. Anyway, Dave,
that made me hot.
DSJ Podcast. Let us know how you feel about Gilbert and his tangent. I guess I'm just gonna call it a tangent. But with that being said, DSJ Podcast, just know Jokic is like that. Jokic is not the worst MVP of the last 40 years. I don't think, to be honest, real respectfully, we may have to say Steve Nash, but no MVP that have won it. There's no worst MVP of all time. Every MVP on their own right has deserved it, and they have balled out. And most of those players are Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
So
people get robbed all the time, but at the end of the day, it is the fans' votes, right? Mostly it comes up to the fans' votes, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But even if somebody else got snubbed, the person that did win, they had a great season.
Great season. So last time I'm gonna say it. Stop comparing generations to your own. If you played in a generation that you have done very good in, or if you are a legend or a Hall of Famer, stop comparing generations and be appreciative of this generation. Because we don't have Vince Carter's though. I'm gonna say it like this. Ja's not Vince Carter, but Ja is athletic as hell.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe more athletic than Vince in his prime. Just saying.
Could be.
Not hating. I'm not backtracking on my word. Stop hating Vince. But it's just two different generations, so we got to stick with the generation that's upcoming.
Like I get draft comparisons when the draft comes up. I get that. I get it. Who does this player play like this, that. But once a player has solidified himself and won MVP, let that be.
Let that be.
He is his own person. He has created his own space.
Right. Even if it is snubbed, even if it is not true, beat changes is crazy.
Facts.
But let it be. Let them celebrate.
Yeah.
Let them celebrate. That being said, DSJ Podcast, man, we thank y'all so much for watching so far. If you into this thing, man, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Hey, make sure to also, you know what I'm saying, give us a shout out. Give a shout out of yourself. You know, we want to thank y'all so much. And let us know what you want us to do next, because next time at doggone April 25th, we're going to be here. We're going to be reacting to some stuff. We may have some food, you know what I'm saying, just talk it up. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have fun. So let's keep it a buck. Let's just be generational. So, yeah, with that being said, DSJ Podcast, I want to thank y'all. And let's get on break.
Yeah.